Good morning, students. How are you all doing today? I hope you all are doing well. That's really wonderful. So, students, in last video, I discussed the explanation of the first poem, The Heart of the Tree. So today, moving ahead with this poem, now I would like to explain you the other parts of the poem, like the tone of the poem, the theme or central idea of the poem, and what are the poetic devices the poet has used in this poem. So let's get started. The tone of the poem, The Heart of the Tree. The poet has used an inspiring tone to inspire his readers. He is very straightforward and educative. He wants to educate us. He wants to teach us the benefits of planting trees. The poet is concerned about our Mother Earth and lays down different points to explain, to illustrate the usefulness of trees with which we can protect our planet, the Earth. He encourages us, he encourages everyone to plant more trees, not only for themselves but also for our future generation, for our unborn eyes. Because the survival of the future generation is greatly dependent on our outlook to plant trees, and this is solely our responsibilities that we need to create. We need to make our planet Earth livable and harmonious for our future generation. Trees keep the environment stable by purifying the air. They cause rain. They offer cool breezes and shade. They provide shade. They provide food. They provide wood and medicines, and they also provide home for the number of birds in the sky. The poet uses simple words to deliver his message that tree plantation is no longer a hobby or a luxury, but it is indeed a necessary for our survival. So now, let us discuss the central idea of the poem, The Heart of the Tree. Students, in this poem, The Heart of the Tree, the poet highlights the importance of trees in our lives. He says that without trees, our survival is not possible. Growth and development of nation is completely dependent of trees and forests. He says that trees not only beautify the environment but helps in the smooth functioning of the ecosystem. Trees provide forest heritage in which all wildlife lives together and maintain the ecosystem. Planting trees are crucial not only for our survival but also for our future generation. It's very important not only for us, not only for our survival, for our unborn children, Without trees, the earth would be unsuitable for living, as trees are responsible for the growth and development of human being or mankind. The poet is also concerned for the future of the earth, which must be made better by planting more and more trees. Trees are essential in every part of life because they give oxygen for human beings, and they absorb carbon dioxide, carbon footprints from the environment and make the environment neat and clean and livable for our survival. They cause tender rain, and offer food, wood, timber, medicines, and lot more. It can be concluded that the central idea of this poem is to make people aware of this importance of planting trees. The central idea of the poem, The Heart of the Tree, is to create awareness among the people for planting more and more trees, because they are very, very important for our survival as well as for the future generation. So now let's discuss the poetic devices used in this poem by the poet Henry Cooler Banner. So the first is alliteration. Alliteration is the close repetition of consonant sounds. Repetition of consonant sounds usually at the beginning of words. For instance, he plants a friend of sun and sky. So here in this line, the repetition of a consonant sound S is being repeated, so it is alliteration. He plants a home to heaven, an eye. In this line, consonant H consonant sound is being repeated, so here it is alliteration. In hushed and happy twilight heart. In this line, again consonant H sound is being repeated thrice in hushed, happy and heart. Fourth, he plants a flag of breeze free. Here consonant F sound is being repeated. So in these 4 lines you can see that the poet has used alliteration as a poetic device. This is also called figure of speech. The second poetic device or figure of speech the poet has used in this poem is metonymy. Metonymy is a figure of speech or poetic device in which one word or phrase is substituted by something or substituted by another one that is closely related or associated with it. One word or phrase is substituted by something that is closely associated with it. In this poem, The Heart of the Tree, the poet has used many phrases which have been used in place of tree. In the second line, second stanza of second line of second stanza, the poet says that he plants cool shade. So cool shade is being substituted for tree. He plants tender rain. So tender rain is a phrase which is substituted with tree. Sap and leaf and wood. In second line of third stanza, the poet says that he plants in sap, leaf and wood. So here sap and leaf and wood are substituted with tree. So these phrases are closely associated with tree. He plants home to heaven and I. He is not saying directly he plants tree. He says he plants home to heaven and I, very tall, very close. So heaven and I is substituted with tree. So all these, heaven represents here, heaven represents the sky. So this poetic device, this figure of speech is known as metonymy that poet has used in this poem. Students, the third figure of speech or poetic device in this poem has been used as metaphor. Metaphor is a very beautiful figure of speech and which is often used by poets to beautify, to bring impact and impression in their writings. Metaphor is a figure of speech, is a poetic device in which a similarity between two things is implied but not directly stated. When we compare two things, when we make comparison between two different things but not directly, it is indirectly comparison between two different things. It is called metaphor. In this poem, the heart of the tree, the branches of a tree are compared to a flag. The poet says that he plants the flag of breezes free. So here the poet compares the branches of the tree to a flag. So this is called metaphor. The next figure of speech in this poem has been used is personification. Personification is a figure of speech or a poetic device in which an abstract idea or inanimate objects. Inanimate objects means the objects which has no life are given qualities of attributes of living beings. When an abstract idea or an inanimate object is given the qualities or attributes of living beings, it is called personification. When abstract ideas or lifeless objects are considered to be having life, having living beings, this device is known as personification. For instance, in the poet personifies the tree when it calls it a friend of sun and sky. A friend of sun and sky. So here a friend, tree is being addressed as a friend of sun and sky. So here the poet is personifying the tree as a friend, as a human being. So this is personification. So I hope you have understood the central idea of the poem, the heart of the tree, and the figure of speech have been used in this poem. So you must note down all the figure of speech and central idea in your fair notebook. Thank you for watching. See you again in the next video. Goodbye.